Hi, we are back now with the finishing touches of the dinner. Okay, now I kept the temperature at the one area for the rice and the corn, and I kept the temperature at one for the meat with the veggies. I'm just going to end up with the finishing touch of stirring the corn and the rice. And I'm going to let you see how it turns out. If you want to, you can serve this just how it is. Okay? You don't have to do any kind of bread wrap or bread pie if you want. But that is perfect for a pie. And this is perfect to get cut up and made for pie as well. I didn't do anything different except for I kept this covered. And I kept this uncovered. This right here. And I put all the toppings on top. I didn't add any more water afterwards. And it's good to have a nonstick pan. If you do not have a nonstick pan, it's going to be very difficult, and you're going to have to add more water, and you're going to have to add more oil to your cooking. The main base of this cooking is water. Okay? The more water you have in it, the thicker your meat will be. See how thick this is? This is real thick. It's not thin. I do this to pull the juices up within the meat because all the juices fell to the back. So I just tilt the pot up a little bit so all the juices can fall forward and they'll run right back into the meat. And I keep this like this as well. Now it's time to what? Do the dishes. I have this face mask on because when you talk, you don't want anything to go off into your food. Because remember, this food might not just be for yourself. You might have company come over and want some of your meal. You want to keep your hair covered because you don't want hair falling into your food, okay? Or any kind of particles of your hair in your food, okay? And cooks, you know that. You're supposed to wear some kind of hairnet or hat, okay? Now for dish time. Remember, the dishes were prepared earlier today around 11:20, and now it is 1:08 p.m. So I took the top off of here. I put these dishes back over here, and all the steam from the dishes got all the germs out. Okay. So now I'm going to take a little cloth and I'm going to wash these dishes. Make sure your water is cool to the touch. Do not wash your dishes in hot water with your hands because you do not want to burn yourself. Okay. And if you need to add soap, that's fine. Okay. Because you might feel, oh, it's not soapy enough. That's good. And some people don't believe in wasting soap. But what I do is I let my dishes sit overnight so that food can crack off the dishes. And in the daytime, I wash my dishes. Okay. And I let them soak like I showed you in hot water. You don't want to put your hands in the water when it's hot because they'll scald your hands. Okay. And remember, adults, this is for when you're just starting at home and you don't cannot afford all that expensive stuff, and it's not really that much people can do to help you out to get started. And it's always good to check this because you don't want to put filthy, food. I mean, you don't want to put clean products in a filthy container. So always check it and see if it's dirty by hand. And if it's dirt, you want to take that out and you want to wash that even. Okay. It's always good to have your measuring cups to measure everything that you have. If you don't know the measurements, when you pour it in there to your taste or to your guest taste, it's good to do the measurements of what the cook, has. And remember, just because I put red peppers in there, you don't have to use yellow peppers. You can use yellow peppers, you can use green peppers, you can use red peppers, any kind of peppers you want to use. It's up to you. And I make actually my dish soap. I usually just, buy this right here when I'm running out of dish soap. And then I use that container right there. But I get this kind of dish soap. It's Murray's Clean Day, Mrs. Murray's Clean Day, dish soap refill. Okay, and I put like a little bit up to here, and then the rest is water. And I'm running out. I got about that much left. So it's time for me to get another refill bottle. And I get those at Amazon, Amazon.com. So, like, if you have trouble um, buying anything through Amazon, You can always purchase through me. You can always find me through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn as well. And you don't have to worry about your food that much. The rice you want to always continually stir because it will stick at the bottom. If you have a non-stick pan, those are better for you because what it is, the non-stick pan will release anything that's stuck on the bottom. That is not a non-stick pan. That pan is a stick pan. So everything is going to absorb at the bottom. Sometimes I do not mind using a stick pan. Okay. And I'm just gonna wash around this. And then I'm gonna put my glass in there. I'm gonna turn that water on hot. And then I'm gonna come over here. And that is gonna fill up. Okay, then we're gonna turn the hot water off. And come over here and do the same thing. Okay, remember I had utensils in that one. Okay, and I had dishes over here. And remember, we are what? Brand new home starters, apartment starters that are working ourselves up. Okay, and this is why we're doing our dishes like this. So you take this over here. And you completely wash your dish. Remember, the water is going to be where it's not a burn for your hand. And remember, you just put your dish through some hot water. Okay, so you're cooling down your dish by using lukewarm water to cold water, where it's not too cold or too hot. And how you get your dish out, if it's in a pan, you push down on one end so your dish can come up and you pull it out. Okay. I had a band-aid on my finger. So remember, push up on one end, and that dish will come up. You grab it out. Every time I go to a new housing area, sometimes I leave stuff behind, and I have to start all over. So I don't mind, helping out the newcomers because they're like, "How are you doing this?" So I'm showing you how I start when I'm by myself, not with a husband or anyone, just by myself. And I do have friends, but a lot of time my friends are just starting off themselves. And we all get together and, do little things, or either we stay in our little group area where one has more or less money, we stay organized that way. Because we don't want to take from anybody. And we do things and we help each other verb. This water had to come out because this is a pot that needs hot water. And it needs to be soaked because it has a lot of oil in it. So this pot is going to soak in a bigger pot than itself. And I'm going to put the lid in there to one side. Okay. Turn off this water because it reached the top. And put these kind of on the side and over this like this so that steam can work through it. And I'm going to come over here with this dish. And it does help with the steam to work with it because when the steam works with it, it will knock down all the grease from the dish, okay? And with the steam hitting up from there, it'll soften up the oils too from your other pots. And here, some people don't change their water. It's good to change your water as well. It's on hot. We kind of do this in the same way. I'm going to set that right there because that's plastic. And let the steam hit that. Okay, for those who, I'm going to put this on cooler water because I got to rinse this off. For those who make coffee, that's what I use these containers for. I make coffee, I pre-make coffee, and then I put the coffee in here and I refrigerate it. And then when it's refrigerated and it cools down to a refrigeration temp, what I do is I prepare it. Okay. And if I don't have enough containers, then I put coffee and stuff. Now this is coffee. And like I put it in this, okay? And what I do is just came out the refrigerator. I take it and I put it in a cup like this. And hopefully I have the top for it. Okay, and this is the top for it. Okay. And this coffee has been refrigerated now for 2 days. And you pour the coffee into the cup. And you add your sugar to it. Add sugar to your taste. Add cream to it of my taste. And it's this much coffee with cream and sugar. You put the top on. as tight as you can put it on, and you shake it. Okay, notice that it lumps up. And what you do after then, you take a bigger cup, see the lumps, and you put it in here, and you turn the water on hot. And you fill the cup up with hot water where the top is up and it's just covering the coffee. You let that sit for just a little while. You take it out and you shake it up. And this coffee should still be cold because remember, it's been sitting in the refrigerator for 2 days. And the water shouldn't be hot anymore. It should be cool. If it's still hot, don't keep your hand in there because it's cool to me. And you take it and you pour it out. That's how cold my coffee is. And you put more hot water in here. Now the cup might turn a little bit hot from you doing that. And remember, I said, do not put the water over the lid so you'll be able to pull the cup out, okay? I didn't mention that part, so you'll be able to pull the cup out. But you want to be able to pull the cup out. And you want to go ahead and switch it around. And see the difference now? Okay. And I'm doing this because I'm pouring the water in and out of here because it's better this way. Because remember, it will chill. So you want to let that chill, not burst open that top. And you want to slowly bring it to where your coffee is feeling like it's cool instead of not hot. And you can drink this, okay? Now it is kind of fizzy. Still, it looks like it's you want to shake it up real good. And if you have a shaker that shakes up bottles, that's even more perfect because you don't have to hit your hand and back and forth with the bottle to shake it up, okay? And now you take something, you dry this off. Dry it completely off. And look at it. You can basically drink it. That's the only substance that's left in it. And if you want, You can put it back in hot water, but I drink it just like this, okay? And that means it's all in, let me find that corner. It's probably all at the top. And it's like a decorational drink. So like if you have it in a cup, if you pour this out into a cup, it would look wonderful. And then top it with whipped cream, then it's excellent. Just excellent. You want to top this with whipped cream. And you have a little coffee. Okay? Now I'm gonna show you the rest of what I do with it. You see this? This is a pack. And it's marshmallows with chocolate. You open this back up. You put this in there, just a tad, to make a more mocha, chocolate mocha with mushrooms. Okay. And you want to do it to your taste. The bigger the cup, the more you add in there. And you shake it. And you can see the mushrooms in there. Okay. And with this type of mushroom, I'm not mushroom, with this type of marshmallow, I am so sorry. With this type of marshmallow, you want to let it sit room temperature and let the marshmallows soak up where they'll be nice and puffy. And then that way, your marshmallows will sit up. You can put that whipped cream on there, and nice and perfect. So now we're gonna go back over here to where I'm gonna cook, okay? But first, I need one dish, and that's this dish that I showed you earlier, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and wash this out. And see, I love when you leave things in overnight in your sink, all the food cracks up off of it. And when you set it in the hot water, and remember I had this over that steam area, then you can just rinse it off. And everything should fall off your dish. Okay. Now, you probably won't use all the rice in the pot. You probably will use some of the rice in the pot, okay? But we're gonna make as many as possible, okay? Because you might have a lot over cooked. So I'm gonna grab a knife and a fork. And if you yourself have trouble with cutting on a skillet that is coated, like what you do is bring over a plate, because I have the same trouble. I put it in the mid part of the stove, okay? The mid part. This is the middle. Okay, some people place it on the table, but I'm using the table right now. But when I have company and if the table's being used, I put it in the mid part. I place the meat here. And all the bones should be able to pop up. If they don't, do not worry about it. We're going to cut around it. Okay? Because we're taking this meat through several steps of cooking. Okay? Oh, I don't use meat that fell on the floor. Excuse me. Okay. And if you have a dog, give them the bone. If you have somebody in the family that loves bones, you can give it to them too. I love bones. I eat bones. I eat meat around bones and everything. So that's like, it's going to be my little treat. Now, once that is done, the rice is prepared. Here is the pan. No water in there whatsoever. If you want to make the pie substance, you put it like this. You put the rice at the bottom, and then you put the meat on top. I'm not going to do that part today, but if you want to, you can. You just scoop up a nice size of rice. I'm knocking down all the juices off the rice. That's why you see me shaking the spoon. And then you take the meat and you put it within the rice and the corn. And then you take it and you fold it and you turn it over. And I'm going to make one more. Knock all the juices off the rice. And you put it in the middle. Remember, I put corn in here too. Now it's going to be a part 3 to this, okay? Because a lot of you all thinking, oh, she got extra. But you take that right there and you do something else with that. And you want to make them differently because you might like one thing and the person you're cooking for is going to like something different. And you flip that over. Be very careful because they can break, okay? If they break, then, it's okay. You can start all over. Set your stove at 350. I'm going to show you. Sorry, I had to toss that meat on the floor. Set your stove at 350. If you want to, you could turn it up. The highest you could turn it up is 420, 425. Okay. You want to take this pan, make sure that everything is okay with it. And you want to wrap it with tin foil. Okay. And you're going to let this cook all the way through. Okay. Once you let this cook all the way through, then you can take it out. So it's going to be a part 3 to this. I'm going to show you how I have it set in the oven. It's on the second shelf, and the shelf is on the 3rd level. We count this right here because this is a level. So 1, 2, 3, the 3rd level. 1, 2, 3, 3rd level. Okay, I just have this rack in there. I don't like placing my racks on the floor. Okay, and then what we're gonna do with this right here, this is all gonna be a part of part 2. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna wrap that up. Okay, because remember, this is already cooked all the way through. Okay. So with that one, you can go ahead and eat it if you like, if you don't want to do the part 3 part with it. Now, sometimes I do use the pots again because the juices on the pots for the next meat is so good that I put a lid on top and I keep it on the stove and use the juices for the next meat. But for my next meat, I'm gonna make at night. Since I'm able to move on, I am going to be making salmon Atlantic whole side color added, it says. So the color was added to this, and it's a salmon of the whole side. I'm not gonna cook the whole thing. I'm gonna cut the salmon about 3/4, not even a half, just 3/4, because I'm a little person. And then I'm gonna use that to eat. Now, when I cooked that steak, what I did was I cooked it when it was frozen like that. So I made a complete meal out of that. So I'm gonna cook that salmon later on tonight, about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So shows you how I do everything, even wash the dishes. And look, more dishes. It's like your dishes never last. And that's what I'm talking about. When you leave food on there and it's hard to get off when it's greasy, you let it sit and it hardens up. You put hot water and soap on it and it comes right off. Okay? Especially off pans like that. Well, it was nice sharing with you how I cook and how I wash dishes and I prepare my meals. Thank you very much for streaming with me live. Bye bye. Part 3 will be coming up. See you later.